We talked about this story last week, but it has only escalated since we last talked about it. We saw YouTuber Brandon Herrera won the Texas 23rd District primary after his opponent, Tony Gonzalez, dropped out. And there's lots here, right? Tony Gonzalez, the guy who had a girlfriend who he had an affair with this girl, and she ended up lighting herself on fire. And it was like all sorts of I know. Just all you need to know is that it's pretty messed up and that Brandon Herrera has now moved on here. Okay. Now, Brandon Herrera is a gun YouTuber. And wouldn't you know it, immediately after he wins, the media machine ratcheted up and turned their focus onto him. This from Rolling Stone. Texas GOP candidate has drawn scrutiny after videos surfaced of him happily boasting about having a copy of Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf over here. Right here. It sounds pretty bad, except this got quickly community noted. The video in question is episode 177 of the Unsubscribed podcast, aired on 9/14/25 on YouTube. So they actually have a complete breakdown of this. And here is another clip of this. This also from a prominent left-wing personality here with almost 500,000 followers on X here. Says, holy crap, a clip was just unearthed of Texas GOP congressional nominee Brandon Herrera showing off his copy of Mein Kampf. I got the 1939 edition printed in English. This is what happened.
Some great points.
That's my copy at my house next to a bunch of the German stick grenades. I got the 1939 edition printed in English just because I thought it was wild that you couldn't buy it on Amazon, but you can buy the Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital.
Well, this was more expensive than the...
So
Based.
there's that.
Very.
That's incredible.
Very.
So what's interesting, though, is that this once again gets community noted here. Brandon Herrera denounces and makes fun of the book, Nazism, Communism, and Hitler. The members of the podcast also joke how this will be edited, taken out of context, and used against them one day, which, ding, 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 there you go. As we scroll down, there's also a little bit more information here. By the way, donut operator also on the podcast. I wonder who's paying you to do this over here. It did get community noted, but there's also some other, there's a thumbnail down here, right here. And by the way, this is a thumbnail of him when he used the gun. This is Brandon Herrera once reviewed the gun that killed Hitler and shot a mock Hitler while giving him mock cyanide. Why are you trying so hard to go after the Nazi killing candidate while ignoring your candidate in Maine who literally had a Nazi tattoo? Right. So there's that. So obviously, look, Herrera makes content online. He makes entertaining content online. That's how you get 4.5 million subscribers. Pretty successful dude. You know what I'm saying? So we see that as well. And by the way, there's more here as the House Majority PAC. Here, found this clip. Video shows Mike Johnson's candidate in Texas 23, Brandon Herrera goose-stepping to Nazi marching song Erica here.
Locked it. See, that just looks correct. So
make sure the song doesn't
my buddy
play
Admin Results is going to be out here on the range with us to help us with the forbidden LARP.
Don't try this at home.
How do you say montage in German?
So
turn it off.
go,
Yeah,
right?
that song can get you hit on YouTube easily.
So anyways, that gets popped out there, right? And people obviously, oh, there you go. Got community noted again. Mr. Herrera uses satire in his videos about historical weapons. This is one example. You'll see more by watching his videos. His grandmother lived in early childhood in Germany during World War II and handed down her knowledge of World War II Germany through stories she told him right here. So I'm amazed to see how this goes. Oh, by the way, one more thing from Rolling Stone here. This is the headline here. Accused sexual harasser GOP candidate steps down and apparent neo-Nazi takes his place.
Yawn.
We hear about like coordinated media attacks, but I've never seen it so quickly. Like he literally won, and then it was like the faucet turned on. And it was like, we got to attack this guy immediately. Go through all of his shit and find everything that could be seen as problematic. Because we know we're going to post this stuff, and the vast majority of people are going to see this. without looking at the community notes, and they're just going to think he's a horrible person. Guys, your thoughts?
He looks like the HW guy from Team Fortress, like a very young HW guy. Just there's that photo of him holding the what is it? He's got some sort of machine gun up like this, and I swear to you, if you drew him bald and gave him a sandwich, it would look like the HW guy.
We have this. This is a thumbnail here. This is his killing Hitler thumbnail.
Oh,
right
it's
here.
so good. Is it a Walther? That's what Hitler used to do the deed, right? He used the gun James Bond uses.
I don't know. But
all the gun nuts go crazy in chat.
The media attack on Herrera has been relentless, I would say. I guess that's the right way to say it. Or just over the past weekend. So you got to ask yourself, like, is he going to sue? And Herrera actually posted about this, said the word apparent, trying to keep Rolling Stone from a defamation lawsuit over here with the Spider-Man stopping the train over here.
My boy Toby.
Pretty great stuff right there. So,
well, the question, a lot of people ask it constantly, like, why are a lot of these people on one side like absolutely nuts and rabid? And it's like, again, when you're clearly an idiot because you're on that side, just makes you an idiot immediately. And all you do is read headlines, and you're bombarded by headlines. And I say this all the time, and everywhere you go, you keep seeing that there are people of this, you're thinking people of this regime everywhere. And you're just going like, why isn't anyone doing anything about this? Well, I can't believe there's this regime that's growing and growing. I'm not going to say their name at the end there. They live in this fear of just constantly hearing how miserable and how bad the other side is, to the point of agreeing with that regime. And then they feel like no one's stopping them, and that there's this power now. And there's also the president, who's also part of this regime. It's making them all schizophrenic at this point, because they never actually just jump out of the bubble for a minute and just get a fact check. So if you're wondering why they live in this delusion, it's because of this. They're surrounded by all the time. People like us and normal people, they look at this and go, this is another ridiculous article. But for some, they're living in just constant fear 24 hours a day.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth in that. And I think a lot of this, this is in response to that House Majority PAC of him. This video I just showed here, that with the whole Nazi marching song, Erica. I don't know anything about that, but thank you for the heads up on that, Kay, making sure that we don't use that song.
Yeah, I had to take a re-education on YouTube for playing it once. That's why firsthand I had to deal with that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Glad we stopped it. Well, we see this. It says, this is from Chris Murphy, who is a U.S. Senator from Connecticut over here. He says, take note how far the Republican Party has come off the rails. They are now nominating open Nazi enthusiast. That's how this was framed. The guy also excitedly talked on camera about a gun used by the Nazis as the original ghetto blaster. Disgusting over here. This is where we're at. And by the way, he got totally ratioed by Herrera. It says, take note how far the Democratic Party has come off the rails. Now they're attacking people for making fun of Nazis.
Attaboy.
He's very good with the comebacks. That's great.
He's a smart cat, man. Smart cat for sure.
That's what we need is to people to point out the hypocrisy of everything. So it's incredible.
Well, I mean, this is obviously dangerous stuff. When they see this, and to see like I said, the faucet be turned on against somebody just immediately, where you have to think that there's some sort of organization going around and trying to find these clips that immediately they're like, this is the target. Find as much as you possibly can on them. And, you heard about this all the time growing up, this idea that in politics, everything gets super muddy and dirty. And they try to find as much dirt as you possibly can on a person. It's honestly gross. It really is gross. The mudslinging.
And dangerous.
Yes, and very dangerous. That's how you get nail bombs thrown.
You get nail bombs, constant assassination attempts, you name it. I mean, the right has had so many assassination attempts on them, on so many people, that goes on. You don't see it a lot in mainstream news because obviously they suppress it. There's been nothing but violence in one direction. And these kind of things don't help that situation at all. All we want from the news is just report facts. That's it. Well, left, right, I don't care. Just give us facts. That's it.
A second ago, we were talking about that Jake Lang story where he got the nail bombs thrown at him. imagine you're at home and you are just kind of, let's say you're doing something, right? You're working at home or whatever, but you have the news on, okay? And you see the news reporting on something. Take a look at how CBS News reported this here. This is the story about the nail bomb that was thrown. Look at the imagery that's used here. Terrorist investigation, and it has a Trump guy. So if you're just watching this blindly here, as she's reporting the news, and you see that, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that it was obviously them, and I want to also point out too their constant want and ability to turn the American flag as a symbol of hate. So now when the one side just sees an American flag, they're like, right wing and end regime people, like that's what they do every single time. So that whole image is a dog whistle to the left to know, okay, these are the evil people constantly. That's every time you'll see an American flag now as part of that problem that they see.
Because the left can fly every flag but the American flag.
Exactly.